Mic check 1, mic check 2. Guys, if you are watching this back on the replay, go ahead and take advantage of the chapters and skip to the beginning of the show. I am still setting up. All right. Ooh, I hope you guys had a good day in the market. I really do. I hope you did. I hope you do. Boy, I tell you, the more I work on being on time, the more I'm late. I'm trying to tell you, I don't know how this end up happening all the time. I mean, all the time. All the time. Nature be calling, I got to go to the bathroom. It's like, no, we're not going to be on time tonight. You got to go to the bathroom. It's always something. I was about to start the live stream tonight and didn't even have the mic in front of me. I remember I did that before. So sometimes I don't have a mic in front of me or on, and sometimes I have it in front of me and don't have it on. It's just, oh my gosh. But we gonna get it. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. Clean my glasses, get this stuff set up, and then we gonna get into the show. We gonna get into the show. And like I said, if you're watching this on the replay, you can go ahead and enjoy me ranting before we start, or you can go ahead and skip right to the beginning of the show. Either way, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It would help me out tremendously. Tremendously. Maybe it'll help me be on time. Oh, all right. Glass is clean. Lips dry. Not no more. Got it. Got a nice little dinner waiting on me when I get done. And as you can tell, the lights are not on. I'm working on it. We're going to get the lights up in 1 second. All this is acting stupid. So we got that. This is where it needs to be. We are covering Micron tonight, guys, and they showed out. And we going to talk all about it. We going to talk all about it. Okay? We gonna talk all about it. I'm looking over here at the stream and chat information. Okay, we do got 2 people tuned in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to be starting momentarily. Momentarily. Why doesn't that say anything? Well, we're just gonna go there. That tells me. That one doesn't. Okay, let's go here. Let's get these. Let's get the script up. The chat is open, guys. You guys want to chat and say something, go ahead. We'll pull it up on the screen. Say where you tuning in from. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Matter of fact, I'll put this up there. Not that one. This one. Yeah, do that, and then I'll put this up. So y'all can do that while I'm setting up. So you can at least do something. All right, we got that. All right, we want to get the lights on. And then while I'm working on the lights, we got to get the script. Got to get the script. There's the script. All right. So I already told you guys to skip to the beginning of the show. Let's get the script up. And guys, I worked on this earlier, but I did not realize I didn't have as much taken care of as I thought I did. I am starting to release the clips and shorts on X. So X was just putting out promotions telling people when we were going to do a live stream. But now I'm releasing shorts, reels. I don't know what X calls it, but clips of the earnings that we put up on the YouTube Shorts channel and that we put up on Facebook. So now that's going to be available on X at 9 o'clock in the morning. But I dropped one tonight at 9 because it was the first one for me to go ahead and get it started. Okay. We got the script. Let me double check, make sure ain't nothing missing. Go here, go here. All right. Yeah, it looked like everything is here, guys. Hopefully it's not an issue. It looks fine. All right, so we got the script ready. I'm gonna just minimize this. Are you guys still there? Yeah, you guys are still there. Cool. I don't know if this chat works over here, guys, because it's telling me 2 channels, but it's saying nobody's tuned in. But on the other one, it's telling me 2 people are watching. So I don't know what's going on over here. All right, I ain't gonna worry about that. Let's just go to Ninja Chat. Oh, the lights. I just said I was gonna have the lights. There we go. All right, so we got the lights on. Go ahead and cut this off. And then we can go ahead and get started. Cut this off too. Oh, the earnings. Let's get the earnings website set up right. Y'all already know we covering Micron, so it ain't no secret. So let me go ahead and get this position correctly. Boom, 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 bam. And then position this. There we go. Pull this over. And are we zoomed in? Let's check that. Zoomed in. Yeah, we're good. All right, down here at the bottom. That's all right. We can go ahead and get started. Let me put the right stuff up on the screen. There we go. All right. Yes. So, welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Oh, thank God it is Wednesday. And tonight we are taking a look at ticker MU. You might know them better as Micron. Micron Technology Incorporated was founded in 1978 by Ward Parkinson, Joe Parkinson, Dennis Wilson, and Doug Pittman, with the first office opening in a basement in Boise, Ohio. Now they're publicly traded on the NASDAQ and have a market value over $1 trillion. Yes, that's T. Trillion dollars. Micron is in the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment industry in the information technology sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Micron's competitors are Western Digital Corporation, ticker WDC, Seagate Technology Holdings PLC, ticker STX, and Intel Corporation, ticker INTC. We're going to review Micron's earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our stream poll and let's do our roll call. Let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put an FB in the chat if you're tuning in from Facebook. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming live Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to these earnings. Let's keep it going. All right. Micron, ticker symbol MU, the $1.2 trillion company, reported its third quarter earnings on Wednesday, June 24th. They have a 52-week high of $1,213.56, which took place on June 22nd, and a 52-week low of $103.38 that occurred on August 1st, which is a trading range of $1,110.18. And they closed today at $1,048.51. Micron's report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $41.5 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $35.6 billion. And they beat on the bottom line as historic demand for high bandwidth memory chips fueled massive structural margin expansion. EPS was higher than the analysts and market expectations of $20.49 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $25.11. Micron reported a GAAP net income of $28.2 billion, which is higher than the $1.9 billion net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents an increase of 1,384%. So for the third fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 93.3% lower than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released after the market closed, followed by by a 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time conference call. As far as guidance, management crushed Wall Street estimates by forecasting fourth quarter revenue between 49 and 51 billion. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $1,048.51 represents an increase of 914.2% over a span of approximately 11 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in August at that 52-week low of $103.38, they would be seeing a gain of $9,142.30. Woo, we did it, guys. We did that. Let's move on. All right, let's talk about why we visit these company websites once I change this screen. I still got the this up. I don't even have the right. Oh goodness, hold on, wait a minute. We all over the place. Oh, I'm clicking every button on here. Here we go. All right, let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and the text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? We look for those answers in four main and oh, wait a minute. Whew, my mouth was dry. We look for those answers in four main areas: the homepage for goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for SEC filings and stock quotes. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go visit Micron's website. Here we go. All right, we got the right disclaimer up, bring you guys over. Let's put up Micron's ticker. Here we go, take that off. There we go. We got everything set. I believe so. We got the right disclaimer. Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're on Micron's website. I'm looking at the top. We're gonna go to investors. Yes, we're gonna go to careers. And I believe the about us is right here. So we're gonna go there as well, but let's browse over the main page of their website, and then we'll start visiting those areas. Micron is the critical layer powering AI. Accelerate your AI. So here are some different things to talk about: corporate, data center SSD, AI, data center SSD, AI. Okay, innovation makes new solutions possible. Data center, client PC, automotive, mobile. Got it. Market and industries. Memory and storage for industrial IoT solutions, featured blogs, design tools. Your future starts here. So that's careers, that's US expansion, building memory manufacturing in the US. Okay. All right. Now, remember, links to these websites are down in the description if I'm moving too fast for you. But here we go. We got two sections to go to about. So we're going to go about overview. I believe these are going to be the same. Yeah, let's just go here. All right, about celebrating 45 years of innovation. Join us in celebrating decades of semiconductor innovation at Micron. So they have a video here you can watch, but I am not going to play it. About quick links: our company, awards and recognitions, sustainability, careers, press, blog. We're going to go to our company in a second. So here is Micron's chairman and president and CEO, Sanjay. Last name right here. You can read that yourself because I don't even want to butcher his name like that. So our company, our history of innovation. Micron began in 1978 as a 4-person semiconductor design company in the basement of a Boise, Idaho dental office. Oh, it was a dental office that was in the basement. And I say Idaho. Did I say that? Yeah, I messed up. Idaho. There we go. Profile our company. Products, memory is everywhere, unlocking data insights, inspiring new possibilities. All right. We got the idea. So we're going to go up here to the top. It was something I wanted to look at specifically. Oh, our company. Here we go. About our company. We are a world leader in innovative memory solutions that transform how the world uses information to enrich life for all. For over 45 years, our company has been instrumental to the world's most significant technology advancements. Got it. All right. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go to careers, and we want to find out what the benefits are for the employees. How well do they take care of the employees? That's what we want to know. So about your talent powers our future. At Micron, we don't just imagine the future, we're building it. All right, quick links. Featured opportunities, search jobs, locations at Micron. Everyone innovates. Awards and recognitions. They got the awards and recognitions almost on every page. Where are the benefits? Here it is. Here it is. U.S. compensation and benefits. Micron offers a comprehensive benefits and compensation package designed to support the well-being and professional growth of our team members. So I know where that link is. We're going to finish browsing over the page. We ain't missing nothing. So let's go back to learn more and see what else we can find about these benefits. Did they zoom us out? No, they didn't. We're good. So careers, U.S. compensation and benefits. Let's see how many details that, or if they go into some details. Here we go. Health, income protection, and voluntary plans. So here's the insurance coverage, find a network provider, leave of absence. Okay, spending and savings accounts, financial benefits, well-being benefits. So now you know where those are. Okay, now we're going to go to investors. All right, and remember, links to the website are down in the wait a minute. Remember, links to the website are down in the description for your convenience if you want to go a little slower than what I'm going right now. We're browsing over the investors page. I don't see anything about the stock right now. We probably have to click on menu at the top, but I'm gonna browse over this page. I'm gonna go back to the top, and then we're gonna go ahead and see what we can find under that menu on the upper left hand side. So right here. No, investor relations. Come on, are you gonna give me? Here we go. All right, stock information. Here it is. It's over here, guys. This is the only place I'm seeing it. So here's the ticker. There's the closing price, the net price change, and the percentage change. But I don't see anything that gives us the actual stock and charts on their website. I'm gonna browse over this one more time. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think I did. Well, under investors relations, I don't see anything on here about the stock information. All right, I'm ready to move on. I don't see it, guys. We're going to look for it on the Thinkorswim platform. We're going to see it on the Thinkorswim platform. So let's go ahead and go here and let's talk about what I found in my research about the company. So Micron does have customers and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include NVIDIA Corporation, ticker NVDA, Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated, ticker AMD, and Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL. All right, now let's talk about the mobile limitations, okay? Let's talk about that. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited. Traders can lose critical details and advanced platform features using trading apps on phones instead of software on computers or websites. So keep in mind, trading from a smartphone is usually the least effective way for managing assets. To access the most details, it's best to use a full trading platform. Watch these streams on a computer or TV and only use your phone as a last resort. Now let's look at Micron on the charts. Here we go. Bring you over. Bam. Put their ticker up. Let's put the right disclaimer up this time. There we go. All right. So we are looking at a 1 year daily chart for Micron. Here is their information right here. And guys, they shot up after earnings. They're still trading. I'm gonna point that out to you in a second. So let me check something. Let's go here. Time axis. Yeah, this has changed. This need to be 30. I want this to be 30. So put that there. So here's their 52-week low of $103.38. Here's their 52-week high of $1,213.56. So from that low to that high, if I remove this tool right here, we can get a new one. We use this trend line tool, connect to the low of that 52-week high, 52-week low candle to the 52-week high. That was a over 1,000% opportunity, guys. 1,073.88% gain from the 52-week low to the 52-week high. My goodness. Okay, so we can remove that tool. We've seen that. Let's go over to the 10-year weekly chart. Here's the 10-year low of $11.50, 10-year high, which is the same, $1,213.56. All right, let's go back to our 1 year daily chart, and we can put me back on the screen. And we're going to zoom in to the current price action. So here's today's candle right here. Okay, this red candle right here. I'm going to pull this over a little bit. Now, one of the first things that I'm noticing is that I think the last time we looked at this stock, there was a gap down. So it was these two candles right here. So that gap has been filled, guys. So we can remove that from our chart. So let's remove that. Let's space this out a little bit and zoom in a little bit more specifically on what we're looking at. That's good. Okay, so I'm seeing a gap over here that has not been filled yet, but actually it was filled after hours. Okay, so I'm gonna still put it on the chart and then I'll show you what I mean. So let's go ahead and use the rectangle tool because it hasn't been filled during regular trading hours. So that's the rule. So we're going to go to edit properties. We're going to turn this to yellow because we identify our gaps on the charts using yellow. Then we go over to December 1st because I just want to expand it far enough out so we can see that gap on the charts. Okay, now here's what I was talking about. Since the earnings were released after the market closed, guys, they spiked up after earnings right here. So let me show you right over here. Come on, tool. Here we go, right here. So we can see that they closed at $1,048.51, but now they're trading over $1,200 on the bid and the ask. Okay, so the way we can see that on the candles, we need to go to the extended hours. So this is how we do that. We go up to the settings and then we go to equities. This box right here needs to be checked. So it is selected, but we're on the wrong time frame. So this is still how you find it. So you go in there, you make sure that's checked, and then you go to an intraday chart. So we're looking at minute candles now. So this gray shaded area is going to be the extended hours. So this is where Micron has been trading at since the market closed. So during the regular trading hours, they hit a low of $991.10 during today's trading session during regular hours. And then the highest they've been in the extended hours, let me zoom in a little bit to focus on this. That's good. It looks like it's this candle right here. So if I use this tool, the price level tool, and just snap it to the top of that candle, they hit a high of $1,224.47 in the extended hours, guys. And they're still holding that level pretty strong. They crushed earnings. Okay. So let's go back to the 1 year daily chart. We're going to leave this here because we need that gap to fill during regular trading hours, even though we've had shares trade in that space, but it was on extended hours. So we use the regular trading hours for that. This gap has also been filled, so we can remove this one. Okay, this gap still exists. That has not been filled during regular trading hours. As far as support and resistance, oh, wow. Yeah, it's already made the extended hours right here, the $1,224.47. That price level is actually higher than the current 52-week high that we're seeing on a regular chart. So if it opens tomorrow higher than this 52-week high or can break that during regular hours, we'll see a new one show up on the chart. As far as support, I would say the previous gap, because there's not a lot of candles that's up here, guys. These are historical levels. So when we look at the daily charts, there's more candles here identifying this price level here. So I would say that support is strong support is still around this $1,089.29. And then you also have the 9-day simple moving average. If you wanted to use a higher support, I would look at this gap being filled as a support if it opens above it and come back down to fill that gap to support it. So let me put these price levels here. It's going to be the high of that candle and the low of that candle. So those price levels are $1,149.43 and then $1,168.57. That's the top of the gap. Okay. The chat is open if you guys want to ask any questions or make any comments, tell me where you're tuning in from or anything like that. Please like the content and consider subscribing to the channel. All right, so we got that. Now we can go ahead and get the stock quote for Micron. I'm cutting on my floating data box. Here we go. Mouse over today's candle, which is right here. So Micron opened today at $1,082.22. They had a high of $1,083.32. They had a low of $991.10, and they closed today at $1,048.51, which is a trading range of $92.22. Now we're going to look at this volume, guys. We're going to look at this volume. So the volume they had for today was 68.9 million shares of this stock was traded today. Now, since the earnings were released after the market closed, we should see more volume tomorrow in response to the earnings during regular hours. So let me take me off the screen and let's look at my volume labels. Take this floating data box off too. So the average trading volume for Micron in a daily trading session is 34.3 million shares. So today's volume was definitely above average. We can see that right here, 68.9 million. Now, this candle right here, Tuesday's candle, the volume for that one is right here, 60.2 million shares. So we see a volume increase from yesterday till today, to today. And guys, there's another gap on here too. We missed a whole nother gap. I don't know why I wasn't looking at this one. Okay, we need to fix this gap because that's not the full gap. The gap was actually from this candle down to this one. So let's fix this. So what we're gonna do, put me back on the screen, and then we're gonna finish that volume up in a second. So we're gonna do the volume rank percentile. Now when I'm looking at it, this is the wrong gap. The gap is actually from here. Remove this drawing. It's gonna be this price level. So the bottom of the gap now is $1,125. The high of the gap is the same. So we're going to use the rectangle tool, and then we're going to extend this gap because it's from the low of that candle to the high of this candle. Extend this over again to December 1st. Bam. And then correct it, make it yellow. And then we identify that that's the gap. So that's the gap, guys. My attention was focused on the wrong two candles. All right. So the volume rank percentile out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 10 of those days had higher volume than today. So when we look at that as a percentage, today's volume was higher than 96% of the most recent 252 trading days volume. Bam. That's the smoothest way I think I'd have never said it. We did it. All right. So we're done with Micron. We got our supports and our resistance. And we're looking for it to have extra volume or a huge spike in volume tomorrow, especially if it gaps up because it's still rising. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and go here. Bam. Take Micron off. Let's put this here. Now, let's go here. Community support. That's where we are. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. All right, let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. All right, so let's go back to the charts. And we're going to pull up the SPY. So we're going to go up here to the symbol box and type in SPY. And there we go. Take me off the screen. Let's talk about it. 52-week low. We got a new 52-week low, guys, because it's starting to roll over. The 52-week low for the SPY is $603.41. 52-week high is $760.40. And we need to zoom in and look at where the current price action is for the SPY. Give me a second. Put me back on the screen. There we go. Okay, so I know those are a lot of lines, guys. Let me walk you through it. We gonna take care of it. So here's today's candle. This is Wednesday's candle. This is Tuesday's candle, and it looks like the high of today's candle penetrated some of the gap between Monday and Tuesday. So we need to adjust this gap because part of it has been filled. So we need to turn the lower edge of this gap to the high of this candle, which is $739.95. I'm not sure if I'm gonna remember it, so I'm gonna put the price level right there. Now we need to go in here, edit property, $739.95. $739.95. Bam, bam, 95. There we go. Okay, there it is. So we adjusted that. The price action is still below the 9-day simple moving average. Okay, we're still trading below that. Now, far as support and resistance, we can see that today's action is definitely responding to that level of $739.95. And it wasn't able to fill that gap, and it wasn't able to close above the 737.05. Okay. Now, what we're going to look at is what's happening with the price right now. Micron is a big leader in the S&P 500 index. Okay. And I'm going to show you what I mean after I show you where the price is now. So even though it closed at 733.24, now it's trading at 737.26. Okay. So what I want to show you are the weights of the SPY so we can see how much Micron affects the SPY. Now, I've never did this before, so be patient with me. Let me see if we can do this. So we go to analyze. Here we go. Micron is right here. They're number 9. So their weight is 2%, 1.87 to be exact. There's a few ways to look at it, but we're looking at it right here. So they're number 9 in the S&P 500 index, and you can't see it because I'm on the screen. So let's do this again. So what I did, I went over to the Analyze tab. We already had SPY typed in. So what I'm looking at are the weights. So this is the S&P 500's top 20 holdings. Micron is in the information technology sector. Okay. So this is going to help push up the XLK and the SPY. So XLK is the ETF for the information technology sector. And then the SPY, they're weighted almost 2% in the SPY. So when they do well, it affects the SPY. Okay. So I hope I explained that well enough. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments, but that's that. So we have our support levels here. We have our resistance here. And remember, the 200-day simple moving average is all the way down here, guys. It's at $689.72. So now let's talk about our volume after we do our quote for this ETF. Put me back on the screen. Now, the SPY opened today at $735.17. They had a high of $739.95. They had a low of $730.84. And they closed today at $733.24, which was a trading range of $9.11. Now, when it came to the trading volume, guys, the volume on the SPY has been low. It's just been way consistently low. Most of the days it's just been below average. It just has. And I'm going to show it to you. So cut off the floating data box and take me off the screen. We're going to look at my volume label. So this is what I'm talking about. This average volume for the SPY, when we started doing these live streams, I want to say like a month ago. We've been doing it for longer than that, but like a month ago, the average trading volume in a day for the SPY was over 75 million in a trading session. It's been low so often that it's bringing the average volume down. That's what I'm saying. And I know I was kind of stuttering, but I was thinking as I was trying to figure out how I was going to say it. But here's the average volume. Here's the trading volume for today. And we can definitely tell that 57 million is below that. And then you can see the previous volume was 66 million. That's still below average. Okay. So that was this candle's volume, the 66.8 million. So we see the volume decreasing and it's kind of trending sideways. Okay. There's not much movement if we just look at the closes. The closes aren't that far from one another. And then the wick on today's, the wicks made the candle a little bit higher. The body's a little bit bigger. So it opened higher, but it closed lower than the previous candle. Now, when we looked up here earlier, it was trading over $737. So that would have put it back above this area of resistance because the price action closed below it. So we would call it resistance, but we got to see how it opens tomorrow when the market opens. All right. Is it going to gap above? Is it going to open below it? We got to see, because we got to see how people respond to the Micron earnings, because they were kind of looking at that as a main thing to determine if AI was losing steam or not. Okay. So now let's finish talking about the volume. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 60 of those days had lower volume than today. So when we were looking at Micron earlier, we were talking about how few days had higher volume. Now we're talking about how few days have lower volume, because this is on the lower end when it comes to the volume. So DB are days below. So 60 days below today's volume. Volume rank percentile, 23.8%. So today's volume is only higher than 23.8% of the most recent 252 trading days volumes when it comes to the spot ETF. Bada boom, bada bing. We got it. Now let's move on. Let's go here. Take this off and go here and then do this. All right. Now, let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right. So let's go back to the charts. Here we go. Go there. Yeah, we can take that off. Put that up there. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over here to the Market Watch tab. And here we go. The biggest loser is ticker APO, Apollo Global Management Incorporated. Guys, they lost 6.13% today, 6.13% today. The previous close was $130.61. They closed today at $122.60. Let's do a hypothetical. So if someone invested, let's say $2,500, and they lost that 6.13%, we're going to negate that and turn it into a decimal as the percentage, hit equal. They would have lost $153.25. We add the $2,500 initial principal back to it, and it will show us how much they would have left. They would have $2,346.75 left of their initial investment. Now let's go over to the Analyze tab, and we can see that ticker APO, Apollo Global Management, is in the financial sector. So we're going to see how that sector performed and the industry and sub-industry that Apollo is inside of. So we're going to go up here to the Market Watch tab. Then we're going to go over to the Visualize sub tab. S&P 500, here we go. We already have that pulled up. Here's the heat map for that watch list. And we are going to look for financials. So here we go. Financials is right here, guys, right here. We're going to go to financials. So that zooms us in. We're looking for ticker APO. So let's highlight these different sections. It's not in there. It's not in there. It's not in there. It is hard to see. That's what I'm thinking. It's hard to see. I don't think they in insurance. You know what? So let me show you a trick. If it's hard for me to see it, this is what I do. I go over here to my quotes and I go to personal and go to temp. So right here, I just put in APO, APO. Bam. Now I have a custom watch list where I can just pull that up in the Visualize tab. So take me off the screen so you can see how I'm doing this. Down here in personal, I'm going to go to the actual collapse this. Go to the one that says temp, and here it is. Now they're the only one there. So now when I click on it, they're in the financial services, in the diversified financial services. So now if we go back to the S&P 500, I go to financials. Here we go. And now we're looking for financial services. So they are in here. They was right here. Here it is. So here is the financial sector, and they're in the financial services industry, and they're in the diversified financial services. It looks like they're the only company in that sub industry. So we're going to look at this whole industry. So that industry is the financial services, and they're the only one that performed poorly. Everybody else did well today. Okay, so let's go back to the Analyze tab. This is not the company. Put that back, APO. And now we're going to talk about them before we visit their website. So company profile, Apollo Global Management Incorporated. Here's their website. Also, a link to their website is down in the description for your convenience. Let's read a little bit about the company before we visit the website. Apollo Global Management Incorporated is a private equity firm specializing in investments in credit, private equity infrastructure, secondaries, and real estate markets. Got it. All right, now let's go to their website. Keyboard, man. Here we go. Bam. Here's their website. Now, let me tell you about something I noticed on this website. We got their ticker up. Yes, we do. We can go to this disclaimer. There we are. Okay. So up here, guys, there's a drop down and they have this separated depending on what type of financial needs you have. Are you an institutional investor, general public, public shareholders, wealth professional? Like, what are you seeking? So I'm going to look at public shareholders. We're going to go to that one. Actually, I don't think that was the one I wanted to do during the live stream. I think I wanted to do general public because they had a video. Okay. All right. So on this one, they talk about Apollo, investors, and we need to find the part where it says careers. All right. I'm moving too fast. But they have it broken in these 4 different sections. So that's why it's kind of odd navigating the website. Okay, so I wanted to get that out the way first. You're like, what the heck is going on? They got it broken up 4 different ways, guys. So it depends on how you choose to see it. Okay, so some of the stuff I know we need to see is right here at the top about Apollo and investors. But I also want to look for careers. So we're going to browse over this page because we see they got like 4 main pages and see if the careers are down at the bottom so we can find out about the benefits. Okay, if they even disclose it. So think retirement new. Keep scrolling. Asset manager, capital provider, wealth and retirement solutions. How we do it. It's hard to see it. It's behind my photo. Okay. Our perspective. What if the world doesn't work the way you think it does? In a world moving forward, your thinking can't afford to stay still. Think it new. They have a video here. You can watch that. Remember, links to the websites are down in the description for your convenience. Insights, credit, Concord, largest ever music ABS transaction. Okay, equity, credit, equity, news and updates, Bloomberg Economy Forum. Okay, press releases, the Apollo culture. As one Apollo team, we believe that doing great work and having fun go hand in hand, and we are proud of what we can achieve together. Got it. People in leadership explore careers. Okay, so that's where we need to go. We found a link for careers, but we still have a few places to scroll. So let's keep going. Looking for a site tailored to you. So this is what they're breaking that down again, just in case you missed it. Do you need a wealth professional, institutional investors, or public shareholders? For shareholders interested in Apollo's quarterly financial reporting, announcements, and other investor relations resources. So this would be something someone would be looking at if they were investing in the company. Like retail investors, like what we're looking at now. Okay. So down here at the bottom, they also have a careers link down here at the bottom as well. You can't see it. Here it is right here for careers. So let's go there, see if we can find the benefits. Okay. Put me back on the screen. We do have Apollo up there. All right. So careers, we aim to provide the ultimate learning environment so that the best talent in our industry can thrive, achieve their full potential, and build meaningful long-term careers with us. Join Apollo, opportunities at Athene. Oh, figure it out. At Apollo, we invest in our people. That's just repeating, I think, what they just said. Where are the benefits? That's what we're looking for. We're building something here, firm Apollo. So these are the principles for the company. We are building something rare, a firm where extraordinary people can do the best work of their careers and build whole careers here. Clean sheet thinking, no walls, flat and informal. Principle mindset, right over easy. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Make sure it's right. Don't worry about it being easy. Just make sure you're doing it right. And life's work. Defining Apollo's culture. Benefits and wellness. We found it. Here we go. All right. So it looks like they do go into some good detail here to be able to see what they offer for the employees. And I'm seeing something about US and UK. So though it's going to depend on where the employee or the candidate is working or resides. Okay. Here's some more about their culture, our people. Believe that's leadership here. Man, I know they have a different section for that. All right, so we're all the way down at the bottom of the page. Now, let's go ahead and go to investor relations. It's right here. Okay, so let's click there. It's going to open up a different website. Blow this up, zoom in, because it looks like they zoomed this out. Hey, wait a minute. Let us zoom in. Don't be like that. There we go. 150. Okay, so we're on the investors relations page. What we do, we ain't worried about that. We want the stocks and here it is right here at the top. All right, so we're gonna click on that after we browse over this page. Just browse over real quick. Why Apollo? Purchase price matters, full alignment, excess return, upcoming and latest events, key presentations, latest news, latest financial results, Apollo's investing strategies, credit, 834 billion equity. So there's some stats there. Now we're at the bottom. So let's go up here to stock information. It does look like they pay a dividend, but we'll check that when we go to the Thinkorswim charts. So here's the overview stock information. They trade on the New York Stock Exchange, ticker symbol, closing price, net price change, and percentage change. Here's the chart they have available, and they do pay dividends. You can't see it because I'm blocking it. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what I found in my research about the company, okay? So Apollo Global Management Incorporated, ticker APO, when it comes to their goods and services, they manage alternative asset investment strategies across the institutional asset owner, insurance platform, and global wealth markets, offering solutions such as 1. Complete credit options, including corporate bonds and asset-backed debt for institutional asset owners. 2. Scalable private equity products, including leveraged buyouts, hybrid value, and climate funds for sponsors. And 3, optimized retirement systems tailored for capital protection, lifetime annuity payouts, and yield generation. Looking at their S&P 500 customers and partners, notable names include Citigroup Incorporated, ticker C, Intel Corporation, ticker INTC, and Realty Income Corporation, ticker O. Just for you call it fun fact, it's rare that some companies have a single letter as a ticker. I think that's fascinating. I knew about like Ford has F. I've never seen this one before. So they have an O. I know Citigroup had a C, but that's just interesting to me. Just wanted to throw that in there. All right, now let's go to the charts. So we go here, bam, bam, and then put the right disclaimer up there. There we go. All right, so go back to the charts. Here's APO. Look at this red here, guys. All right, so first let's talk about what we're looking at. We're looking at a 1-year daily chart, 52-week high of $157.28, 52-week low, $99.56. They do pay a dividend. The last time they paid a dividend, it was 56 cents. And before that, it was 51. And something weird is over there. So let me show that. I don't know what that is. I would have to do some research, but I'm seeing it twice. I have one for 20 cents and one for 51 cents. That's odd. I've never seen that before that close. I would have to do some research to find out what that is. Okay, now let's look at the 10-year weekly chart. It does go all the way back to 2016. So take me off the screen so you can see it. 10-year low of $14.25, 10-year high of $189.49. Now we're going to zoom in right here and focus on this area of the price action on the weekly chart to look and see if we can find some support and resistance level. This stands out to me right here. Okay. Now I'm looking because I'm also seeing these 3 candles right here found some type of resistance. So if I bring it down, it hits more candles down here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a zone. So I'm going to use this rectangle tool, connect it to this candle right here. And then the high of this candle right here, this one. Let's use this one. All right, so I'm gonna extend this over to December 2026 on the 1st. So that's my resistance zone. I chose a zone because it touches more candles doing it that way than if we had just used the price level. So to me, the zone is more accurate. Now, what we seeing down here, it looked like it found some resistance here. And if we do use a price level here on this weekly chart, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. Put me back on the screen. What I'm seeing is that This candle responded to that price level as resistance. This candle responded to it. This candle responded to it. They never closed above that price level, even though the wick got above it. And these wicks got like right close to it. Same thing with this one. This wick didn't close above it. And then this candle didn't get above it. And it opened on the top of that body because it's a red candle and closed all the way down here. Now, this dashed green line is a 9-week simple moving average because we're looking at weekly candles now. And this is a 200-week simple moving average. And somebody had asked me before, like, why do you use the certain time frames that you use as far as like the SMAs? People use the 100 SMA, 50, 30, or 20. And as you can see on this 200 simple moving average, it responded to it for weeks. For a few weeks, it responded to it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. It was basically riding this 200-week simple moving average. And then it was able to power above it on this candle right here and close above the 9-week simple moving average as well. But today we have this big candle right here, big red candle during the week that's forming. So we still have 2 days left to finish forming that candle. But right now it's definitely below the 9-week simple moving average. Now, with the price being right there, we're still looking for areas of support on the weekly chart. And then we can go back over here to the daily chart. So what I'm seeing is right here, this price level of $118.40 as support. Now, the reason why I picked that price level is I'm seeing that these two candles responded to it. This candle held as resistance on that one. It held as support for this one, support for these two. These candles had a hard time getting above it. These candles couldn't get above it. And then it held as support on a couple candles here when it powered through it here. So I'm just explaining why I chose that price level. It's not random. Okay. So that's what we got there. Now let's go ahead and go to the 1-year daily chart. So we did our technicals on the larger time frame, looking at the 10-year weekly chart. Since the price action is right here, this looks like consolidation to me too, guys. I know it's a nice little price range between $100 and like $110. So right here, it looks like it was consolidating for about 2 months, and then it broke out to the upside. That's what I'm seeing there. Okay. So I'm going to say this consolidation zone would be support as well. And then you have a couple gaps. So let me show you those. So if we expand this and bring it up, bring it over a little bit, expand it a little more, and I'm gonna make it smaller. I just want to identify that this is a gap. You probably can't see it unless I zoom in enough. So we're going to use the rectangle tool. This is a gap right here. If I didn't stretch it, it would be hard to see it. So we're going to make this yellow so we can identify that that's a gap. We're going to extend this over to December 1st. There we go. Hit OK. And then we're going to put another identifier as a gap right here. Edit properties, yellow, extend it over December 1st. Bam. There we go. So those are the gaps on the daily candles that have not been filled yet. And to put the price levels there so we can get an idea, that's the high of that candle. That's the low of that candle. And because this is so close to one another, I'm just going to put one level there and I'm going to use the top because the price action is above it. So we'll use the top as support. Okay. And now we can reposition this chart so it doesn't look as crazy and we can focus on where the price action is now. And then we also have a gap here. Let me zoom in over here. I had to go back that far on the chart because I was looking for support. Okay. But now that we're looking for resistance, we need to zoom in. So that's not a gap right there. So we don't have to worry about that. But right here, there was a gap between yesterday and today. So let's use the rectangle tool and identify that. There's the gap, edit properties, turn it yellow, move it to December 1st, drag this over so you can see it a little better. December 1st, bam, 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 bam. There we go. Okay. And there's our gap between those two candles. And I'm assuming they had high volume today. So we're going to get into the volume. Let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Apollo Global Management. Okay. Did we cover everything about the support and resistance that I'm seeing on the charts? I don't believe I did this. So let's put a price level there so you can at least see what that price level is. That's 129.99. And that's a psychological level because it's a round number. So I'm going to remove that drawing and I'm going to use the top of that gap because it'll be easier to see the price level because it'll sit on top of the yellow instead of inside of it. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and get the stock quote. So go up here to the settings, cut on the floating data box, and let's talk about it. So Apollo opened today at $129.99. They had a high of $129.99. So guys, that is called a shaven head. When the high and the open are the same amount, that's a shaven head. It's flat. It's dead flat. All right. So the low is $121.96 and the close is $122.60. And they traded today in a range of $8.03. As far as the trading volume, they traded 6.9 million shares of this stock today. Is that high? Is that low? We don't know, but we're about to find out. So let's cut off the floating data box. Take me off the screen and let's look at my volume labels. Over here on the volume labels, what we have, the average trading volume for Apollo is 3.8 million shares in a daily trading session. Today they did 6.9 million. So that's definitely above average for this big red candle that it formed today. Now, yesterday's volume, which is this candle right here, here's the volume for that. So it was 4 million shares traded yesterday, and that was above average as well. So not only were both days above average, we see an increase in volume with the candle that formed today. Okay, got it. Now we can put me on the screen and we can talk about the volume rank percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 15 of those days had higher volume than today. And today's volume was 94. It was higher than 94% of the most recent 252 trading days volume. Got it? Bada boom, bada bang. Now we can go ahead and move on and talk about the biggest loser. We got a lot of stuff going over here from when we're looking at the heat map. So let's clear all of this out. Let's go look at the biggest loser. Go over to the Market Watch tab, then we go over to the quotes sub tab. We need to go back to the S&P 500 index watch list, and then we go to the gainer, the biggest gainer. I don't know if I said gainer or winner, but we need to say gainer. So the biggest gainer for today is ticker BLDR, Builders FirstSource Incorporated, and they went up 11.31%. Their previous close was $73.73, and it closed today at $85.41. Do we have a right disclaimer up there? Yes. Okay, let's do a quick hypothetical. What did we use last time? Let's use $2,500 again. So if someone invested $2,500 and they got that 11.31% gain, turn that to a decimal, they would have gained $282.75. We add that to the initial $2,500 investment. So the total investment would have grown to $2,782.75. Bada boom, bada bing. Now, let's go ahead and go over here to the Analyze tab. And we can see that ticker BLDR is in the industrials sector. So we're going to check the performance of that sector, the industry, and the sub-industry that Builders FirstSource is in. So we're going to go to the Market Watch tab. Go to the Visualize tab, go to the S&P 500 index, and we're looking for the industrials sector. Okay, so let's start looking for it. That's information technology. It's over here in the corner. Industrials, right here. So industrials. Now that we're zoomed in, we're looking for BLDR, BLDR, BLDR. They have a lot of industries inside of here. BLDR. Here it is. Building products. That's the industry that they're in. Okay. The sub industry is the same. So building products is the industry and the sub industry. And it looks like the industry, the sector, the industrial sector and the building products industry performed very well today because everybody in that industry of building products is green, guys. It ain't hard to see. Now, if we go to the industrial sector, we see a few red in there. But as far as that in particular industry, they did well right here in building products. Okay, let me highlight that, this section right here. Even down here, so passenger airlines did well, trading companies, those are all green. Okay, so let's go back to the Analyze tab. And before we visit Builders FirstSource Incorporated's website, let's read this description and point out the website right here. So here's their website. Links to their website are also down in the description for your convenience. Let's read this and then we can go. So Builders FirstSource Incorporated, together with its subsidiaries, provides building materials for professional builders in new residential construction and repair and remodeling in the United States. Got it. All right. Now let's go to their website. Okay, that was good. Put me on the screen. Put the right disclaimer up there. Hey, we on a roll. All right. So we're going to browse over the home page. Let's see where we're going to go. We're going to go to who we are. Okay, we're going to go to careers. And guys, I don't see the investor relations at the top, so it might be at the bottom. So let's go ahead and start browsing over the website, and then we can start visiting those places. Quality millwork, superior service. That stairwell do look dope. It do look good. Do look good. All right. Local expertise available nationwide. So they have some stats here. 570 approximate locations in 43 states, over 28,000 team members. Okay. Say hello to My Builder. Learn more about My Builder. It's a digital platform for home builders that seamlessly connects front-end design and sales processes with material procurement, all the way through the completion of your build. Okay. All right. Cutting edge technology. See how Builders FirstSource is using robotic automation to stay ahead of the curve in component manufacturing. They have a video here you can watch. Remember, links to the websites are down in the description. Ready Frame, computerized pre-cut framing lumber. They got computers cutting wood. Job site. Smart bundled and labeled to increase speed, decrease labor, and reduce waste. Oh my gosh. Is it going to be any jobs left? Ready Frame is faster and more efficient. Everybody wins. Look at this. Wow. Build greener with us. Builders FirstSource manufacture framing components, make framing greener with approximately, and the numbers just still count. Trees saved since January 1st, 2019. Driven to transform home building. All right, we're down at the bottom. Guys, there it is. There's the investors relations right there. It just says investors. So we know where to go for that. So let's go up here to who we are. Let's find out a little bit more about the company. Who we are: outperform today, transform tomorrow. Got it. Okay, Builders FirstSource is the nation's largest supplier of structural building products, value-added components, and services to the professional market for new residential construction and repair and remodeling. I got it. Here's another video. Driven to transform home building. Formed in 1998 and publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, Builders FirstSource has approximately 507. They talked about that. So they're kind of repeating something we already know. Local expertise available nationwide. So we can find a location. They have a map right here. We can find that out. Oh, man. Okay, purpose. Here we go. Purpose: to build a better future for those we serve. Got it. Mission: to create value for our customers with the building products, tailored solutions, and trusted expertise we provide. Vision: to utilize innovative solutions to help build quality homes efficiently. Our values: spice, safety, always, people first, uncompromising integrity, customer committed, everyday excellence. Got it. Respect the past, embrace the future. Our story: boy, they don't got no secrets. You can read this all day. All right. And then they got the investors right there. So that's going to take you to another site. Before we do that, let's go ahead and look at careers. We want to find out about the benefits. And of course, it looks like they took us to a different website, but that is blown up. Let's see if we need to zoom in. Yeah, we do. There's 150. Be more, do more, build more together. Got it. Built for more. Search careers. Now, what we looking for, guys? We're looking for the benefits. So I'm gonna browse over this. I'm gonna move a little bit more efficiently and stop reading everything. I'm trying to see where the benefits are. More than a national company, we make a local impact. Here go the stats. They keep repeating those stats. Okay, awards and achievements. So that's been some recognition. That looks fun. Okay, we got that. Women, culture, compensation, our team members promise, opportunities. Okay, so here are the different departments. I'm still looking for benefits, guys. BFS, Builder's Career Guide, see the guide, comparability. Okay, so let's click here and see if something about the benefits comes up. Oh man, they gave me a whole PDF package. I don't want all that. No, we ain't trying to do all that. Our company, careers, home, life at BFS, career areas, no, candidate tips. Let's try that. Let's try this one last thing. All right, qualities to work for. Oh, no, that's quals, what to expect, phone. And so they talking about the hiring process here. Where are the benefits? Predict, practice, explain, clarify, plan, relax. Yeah, guys, I don't see it. So let's go ahead and go to investors. There we go. Blow this back up, zoom in, bam, bam, bam. We're good. All right, investor relations. Now, we're going to browse over this page. I believe where we need to click is right here where it says stock info. So watch video. Remember, links are down in the description. You want to watch that. About builders, FirstSource, read more. Guys, we're at the bottom. So let's go to stock info. So they have the quote, the chart, and other tools. So let's go to quote. So here's the stock quote. Here's the stock chart. And here are some other tools, like you can click right here, stuff like that. All right, now let's talk about what I found in my research about the company. So here we go. Builders FirstSource Incorporated, ticker BLDR. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage structural building material manufacturing across the residential, construction, home remodeling, and commercial development markets, offering solutions such as: 1, complete physical product options, including factory-built roof trusses and wall panels for residential home builders. 2, scalable structural framework packages, including specialized turnkey framing, house drafting, and virtual design tools for contractors. So we have seen that on the website. And 3rd, optimized distribution network systems tailored for bulk lumber logistics, exterior siding delivery, and commercial roofing. Looking at their S&P 500 customers and partners, notable names include Linear Corporation, ticker LEN, DR Horton Incorporated, ticker DHI, and Pulte Group, I'm gonna spell it, PULTE Group Incorporated, ticker PHM. Okay, so now let's go to the charts. We already have their ticker up. We get the right disclaimer. There we go. Now, let's go to the charts. Now, here we go. Go to settings, time axis. Why is it going to 37? I don't know. Apply. Okay. Just move it over. Look, I can just tell it's off. All right. So we're looking at a 1-year daily chart for Builder. 52-week high, $151.03. 52-week low, $65.10. Okay. Now we're going to look at the 10-year weekly chart. They have a 10-year low of $9. Yeah, you can see it. 10-year high of $214.70. Now, really quick, I'm seeing this right here as potential resistance. The price is right here. Let's just zoom in. Let's just zoom in after I look at these price levels. Okay, wait a minute. Take me off the screen, bam, and do what I said, which is zoom in. So we're going to zoom in on this area right here, starting from here. So that's the area we're going to look at. Using the price level tool, I'm looking at these to try to see if the price over here has responded to something that happened historically. So immediately I'm seeing that from using this price level right here. We can see it's responding to that now, and it responded to it over here. It held there's resistance here a few times. Okay, so you can see that on them little bitty arrows I'm drawing. Okay, and then right down here, that looks like another price level that it's responding to. So it's kind of tight in these areas. So if I put another line here, you can see back here, this wick. So that's going to be like a zone to me, guys. So I'm going to use the zone tool. And we're just going to use this as a way to catch more candles. So I'm going to extend this over to December 1st, 2026. And now you can see how many candles that catches. So that's my support zone. We're going to do a zone instead of doing all those different lines. And then since the price action for this week is above that zone right there, I'm going to put a price level at the top of that zone. So that's $74. So a roughly psychological level of $75, rounding that off. As far as resistance, we don't need to put anything else up there. So you got a 200-week simple moving average. So I'm seeing that as potential resistance. And right now it's trading above the 9-week simple moving average, which is the dashed green line on this weekly chart, okay? And then we're going to use the 1-year daily chart to look for our technicals, okay? For some more technicals. Now, when it did this pullback right here, I'm seeing this as potential resistance, okay? And we can see this low respected that, bounced off of it, put me back on the screen. Now price level was $94.35. It held that support right up in here and it held as resistance. It acted as support and resistance in this area here. Let me widen that box a little bit. Acted as support and resistance in here. It was support here. A lot of those candles didn't quite make it, but one did. Okay. So we can make that a zone to make it a little wider to catch those wicks. Okay. That's how I would do that. So let me show you exactly what I mean. So what I would do, I would take the lowest of those candles, that wick right there, and then bring that up to this, because that's the low that I use. So that's going to be my resistance zone. Now I'm going to bring that over to December 1st. And then I would look at that zone as potential resistance, because these candles had a very hard time getting into that zone once they got through it over here. They could barely get into that zone, so they were getting blocked like at the bottom of it. So that's why I made it wider. Now you're like, well, what's the price of that zone? I can't see the price of that zone. I will fix it. So here we go. So you can see that price. We put it right there, snap it to the top of that candle. So the top of that zone, the bottom of that zone is $90.82. The top of the zone is $94.35. Here is today's candle. This candle right here. Okay. And this, I'm seeing that as resistance as well. I'm pointing to the dashed white line. So that's the 200-day simple moving average. And this is the 9-day simple moving average, because now we're looking at a daily chart. Okay. Now let's get the stock quote for this company and talk about the volume, because I'm interested to know how the volume responded today. Because it didn't necessarily gap up, but it opened a lot higher than it closed. So it closed down here at the top of the body on this green candle and opened at the bottom of the body on this green candle. So that's a nice little distance there, even though it's not a gap, because of the highs of this candle overlapping the price action today. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the stock quote for Builder. Go up to the settings tab, cut on the floating data box, and let's talk about it. So Builder opened today at $79.16. They had a high of $86.49. They had a low of $79.09, and they closed today at $85.41, which was a trading range of $7.40. The trading volume was 3.59 million shares of this stock traded today. So we need to find out what the average trading volume is for Builders. Okay, so we're going to cut off the floating box. Take me off the screen. Let's go over here. The average trading volume for this stock, guys, is only 2.2 million shares in a daily trading session. But today's volume is above that. So it looked low, but it's actually above what they normally do. So 3.5 million is above average, but this candle right here, yesterday's candle, was below average, trading 1.5 million shares. So we see an increase in volume as this stock is going higher. and finding resistance right there at that price level of $86.48. It was not able to close above it, but it did test it during today's trading action. Okay, so now let's put me back on the screen and let's talk about the volume a little bit more. So volume rank percentile out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 25 of those days had higher volume than today. And today's volume was higher than 98.1% of the most recent 252 trading days volumes. Got it. Bada boom, bada bang. Guys, we're done. We did it. We got through it. Oh, yes, we did. So let's go over here and get ready to wrap the show up. Take that off. Go here. Take that off. Okay. Ooh, nice and smooth. All right. You already know. I hope that you learned something and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, June 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're reviewing this week's performance of the 11 sectors in the S&P 500 index. Companies that stood out, notable market news, and performing a live Q&A so we can focus on building our community. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care and God bless.